Hello, my friend. Take a moment. Just breathe. Feel the air coming in and going out. Feel your body here, right now. You are safe, you are calm, and you are ready for a new story. Maybe you are sitting in your favorite chair. Maybe you are drinking tea. Maybe you are thinking about your future, about studying abroad, about a new job, about a new life in another country. Wherever you are, welcome. This time is yours. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about taking an English test? A big test? A test that could change your life? For millions of people around the world, that test is called IELTS. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. It is one of the most important English tests in the world. Universities ask for it. Companies ask for it. Governments ask for it. If you want to study in another country, or work there, or move there, you probably need IELTS. But there is one problem. IELTS is expensive, very expensive. In China, the test costs 2,170 yuan. In India, it costs about 18,000 rupees. In the UK, it can cost up to 250 pounds. That is a lot of money. For many people, it is more than a month of food, more than a month of rent. Why? Why does one test cost so much? Today, we are going on a journey. We are going behind the scenes of this big test. We are going to discover where all that money goes, and we are going to learn some secrets that might surprise you. So sit back, relax, and keep that warm cup close. This is the story of why IELTS is so expensive. Our story begins in 1989, a long time ago, before you were born, maybe before your parents were born. In those days, if you wanted to study in an English-speaking country, you had to take different tests for different places. If you wanted to go to the UK, you took one test. If you wanted to go to Australia, you took another test. It was confusing. It was expensive. It was difficult. So 3 organizations came together: the University of Cambridge, the British Council, and IDP Education from Australia. They said, let's make one test that everyone accepts, one test that is fair for everyone. And so, IELTS was born. From the beginning, IELTS was different. It was not just a test. It was a promise that the test would be fair, that it would be the same everywhere in the world, that a score of 7 inches Beijing would mean the same as a score of 7 inches London, in Sydney, in New York. This promise, this idea of fairness, is the first secret behind the cost. Keeping that promise is not easy. It costs money, a lot of money. Let me tell you about the people behind the test. Hundreds of people work on IELTS. Not just the people at the test center. Not just the people who check your ID. Many more. There are test developers. These are experts in language. They create the questions. They write the reading passages. They make the listening recordings. They think of topics for the speaking test. This work takes months. Every question must be tested. Every question must be fair. If a question is too hard, or too easy, or confusing, they throw it away and start again. There are examiners. These are the people who listen to you speak. They read your writing. They give you your score. Every examiner is trained. Every examiner is tested. They must show that they can give fair scores. And even after they start working, they are checked again and again. Other examiners listen to their recordings. Other examiners read their scores. If they are too strict or too kind, they lose their jobs. There are researchers. They look at millions of test results. They ask, is this test fair for everyone? Do men and women get the same scores? Do people from different countries get the same scores? If something looks wrong, they change the test. All of these people need to be paid. Their work costs money, and that money comes from you, the test taker. Now, think about where you take the test. It is probably a nice place, clean, quiet, comfortable, with good chairs and good desks, with headphones for the listening test, with air conditioning in summer and heat in winter. This does not happen by magic. IELTS has more than 1,200 test centers in over 140 countries. Every single one of these centers must meet the same standards. They must be the same in London and in a small village in Vietnam. In a big city in India and in a desert town in Africa. This costs money. Rent for the buildings, electricity, internet, security cameras, computers for the computer-based test, paper for the paper-based test, headphones, pens, pencils, erasers, and people. So many people. There are the people at the reception desk. They answer your questions. They help you register. They check your ID when you arrive. There are the invigilators. These are the people who watch you during the test. They make sure nobody cheats. They walk around the room. They watch. They wait. They are there for hours. There are the people who collect your papers, who send them to the examiners, who enter your scores into the computer, who print your certificate and mail it to you. Every step costs money, and every step is part of your test fee. There is another secret behind the cost, a secret that most people do not think about. Security. IELTS is a big test, a big, important test. Your score can change your life. It can get you into a good university. It can get you a job. It can get you a visa to another country. Because it is so important, some people try to cheat. They try to bring answers into the test. They try to pay someone else to take the test for them. They try to steal the questions before the test. IELTS must stop all of this. So before the test, your photo is taken. Your fingerprints are scanned. Your ID is checked and checked again. During the test, the invigilators watch you. Cameras watch you. Nothing is private. Every move is seen. After the test, your speaking test is recorded. Your writing is checked by computers. If something looks strange, if your writing looks different from your speaking, they investigate. All of this costs money. The cameras, the fingerprint machines, the security guards, the people who check and double check, but it is necessary. Because without security, the test would mean nothing. Your score would mean nothing. Let me tell you about something that happened in 2025. For 36 years, the price of IELTS in China stayed the same. It was 2,170 yuan for the regular test. It never went down. Then, in November 2025, something surprising happened. IELTS lowered the price to 1,990 yuan. For the first time in 36 years, the test got cheaper. Why? Why would they lower the price? The answer is competition. New tests appeared. Tests like PTE, like Duolingo, like TOEFL IBT. These tests are also accepted by many universities, and some of them are cheaper. Some of them are faster. Some of them are easier to take at home. IELTS had to change. They had to compete. They also found ways to save money. They introduced computer-based testing. With computers, they do not need as much paper. They do not need as many people to check the answers. The results come faster. The costs go down. So the price went down too. But here is the interesting part. Even after the price drop, IELTS in China is still more expensive than in some other countries. In Thailand, in Vietnam, the test costs less. In the UK, it costs less. In the US, it costs less. Why? Because different countries have different costs. Rent is different. Salaries are different. Taxes are different. The price of IELTS is not the same everywhere. It changes depending on where you live. So, where does your money go? Let us imagine your 2,170 yuan. Where does it travel? Some of it goes to Cambridge University Press. They own the test. They create the questions. They do the research. They make sure the test is good. Some of it goes to the British Council. They run the test centers in many countries. They train the examiners. They promote the test around the world. Some of it goes to IDP Education. They are the third partner. They run test centers too, especially in Australia and Asia. Some of it goes to your local test center. They pay the rent, they pay the staff, they buy the paper and the pens and the headphones. Some of it goes to security, the cameras, the fingerprint machines, the people who watch and check. Some of it goes to technology, the computers for the computer-based test, the website where you register, the system that sends your scores to universities. Some of it goes to customer service, the people who answer your emails, who help you when something goes wrong, who explain why your test was canceled and when you can take it again. And some of it goes to marketing, the ads you see online, the posters at your university, the free events where you can learn about the test. Every yuan goes somewhere. Every yuan pays for something. Now, let me tell you about the extra costs. The test fee is just the beginning. If something goes wrong, you might have to pay more. If you need to change your test date, that costs money. In China, it is 420 yuan. In India, it is part of the fee. In the UK, it is about £55. If you need to cancel your test, that costs money too. You do not get all your money back. Some of it stays with IELTS. If you want to send your scores to more universities, that costs money. In China, it is 120 yuan for each extra score report. In India, it is 250 rupees. If you think your score is wrong and you want it checked again, that costs money. In China, it is 1,400 yuan. In India, it can be 12,750 rupees. If your score goes up, you get your money back. But if it stays the same, the money is gone. And then there is the biggest cost of all. The cost that nobody talks about. Taking the test again. If you do not get the score you need, you have to pay the full fee again. Another 2,170 yuan. Another test date. Another waiting time. This is why preparation is so important. This is why studying hard is not just about learning English. It is about saving money. Because the cheapest test is the one you pass the first time. So, is IELTS too expensive? It depends on how you look at it. If you think of it as just a test, 2 hours of listening, 1 hour of reading, 1 hour of writing, 15 minutes of speaking, then yes, 2,170 yuan seems like a lot of money. That is more than 500 yuan per hour, more than most people earn. But if you think of it as an investment, it looks different. Your IELTS score can open doors. It can get you into a good university. It can help you find a better job. It can let you move to another country. It can change your whole life. 2,000 yuan for a changed life? That is not expensive. That is cheap. The problem is, it does not always work. Some people pay the money, take the test, and do not get the score they need. Then they have to pay again, and again, and again. For them, the test feels very expensive. The secret is preparation. The secret is being ready. The secret is making sure that your first test is your last test. When you learn English, you are doing more than learning words. You are investing in yourself. Every hour you study, every word you learn, every story you listen to, it all adds up. It all prepares you for the big day. The test is expensive, but the language, the ability to speak, to understand, to connect, that is priceless. So when you think about IELTS, do not just think about the money. Think about what it can give you. Think about the doors it can open. Think about the future you are building. And then study. Study hard. Study smart. Study until you are ready. Because the best way to save money on IELTS is to only pay for it once. Thank you for listening to this story today. I hope you learned something new about IELTS. I hope it helps you with your English journey. If you like this story, please give it a like. It helps more people find our channel. If you want to hear more stories like this about English, about tests, about the secrets of the world, please subscribe. Your support helps us create more content for your English journey. And if you have ideas for other stories, please leave a comment below. I would love to know what you want to learn next. Until next time, my friend, keep learning, keep dreaming, and remember, every test you take, every word you learn, is bringing you closer to your future. See you soon.